Can we look at housing bubble real quick? Is that cool? Okay, there's some really important takeaways. So what happened to inventory when the bubble started to pop? Because these are clues maybe, even though we don't have to, the market doesn't have to behave the same way, but in 2005, we'd say the bubble popped here. What happened over the course of 3 months? Inventory doubled. Okay. Then over the course of 1 year, we saw the number of listings, inventory almost triple. Okay, so we went from just over 2 months to all of a sudden an 8-month supply in just 12 months. And so if you're looking for changes in the market, if you're trying to figure out what's the market doing, pay really close attention to what's happening with the listings. Okay, when we have a market where listings stop selling, then we know that something is going on here. Okay, here was sales volume during the same period where inventory tripled, but sales volume, we had this normal rhythm, boom, 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 and it just dropped by 43% in 1 year. And so we had a market where if you want to see change in a market, it's about what's happening in the listings. And then as we start to see change in the sales, the number of sales, if properties are no longer selling, that is a clue that the market has begun to change in a more significant way. Okay, now here's the big thing though. Prices during the same period. Okay, we had a market, inventory tripled, sales volume was tanking by 40% in the region. The median price was down by 6% in Sacramento County, and the average price was down only 4%. So the market is utterly imploding, but we don't see it in the prices yet. Isn't that crazy? I tell real estate friends, I'm like, you could have literally sent out your fax machine market plan, back in the day, and you could have said, here's a recipe for, grandma's chocolate chip cookies, and guess what? You may have heard the market's starting to sag a little bit. It's only down 5% though. But the bigger story was, no, the market was utterly imploding. We just didn't see the trend yet in the sales stats. So the worst thing you can do in a market that's changing is to focus too heavily on the sales. We're like looking, well, what are prices doing? That's really important. But before we see it show up in prices, we see the change in the listings and in volume activity, and then eventually that shows up in the price. Does that make sense? I just think, I look at that stuff, I go, that is such a good thing to look for in today's market, okay, as you're hunting out there in neighborhoods.